breaking the fourth wall.
Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio Raw post-show rewind for April the 29th, 2024. I am Tyler, the Pro Wrestling Hipster at PW Hipster, and the Pro Wrestling Hipster over on Facebook. Caesar, introduce yourself, sir, and let's hop into tonight's main event. You're muted. Caesar, you're muted. You're muted.
That wasn't me. Somebody else did that. But anyways, how's it going, guys? I'm Caesar. I go by NewTube on social media. There's way too many to name, so I'm not going to sit here and name those, because instead of naming those, let's name some draft picks. Like those amazing draft picks.
Draft picks.
Yeah.
All right.
Number one is...
Before we
Anyways.
talk about the continuation of the draft tonight, we will talk about the main event this evening. And tonight's main event on Raw saw the Judgment Day taking on Jey Uso, Ricochet, and Andrade. Andrade, Jey, and Ricochet pick up the win in just about 11 minutes. Yeet. So kind of just a... placeholder main event. We talked about this a little bit here week to week. You got 52 main events a year that you have to fill. So I understand that. Obviously, I got one of my. But obviously pushing the angle between Jey and Damian. But Caesar, what did you think of the main event tonight?
Honestly, it just did its job. Give everyone a little bit of time to shine and show off the shiner, the forehead. Whew. That was a big one. Nothing too crazy to like be like, oh my god, this was the top match. It was one of those kind of things. It was just like, it was good, did the job, gave us what we wanted, and especially not to mention, this is the go home episode.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Right, it is, but which really didn't feel that way. Now, granted, you've got SmackDown. You got SmackDown Friday. So there's still time for them to build. But actually, what are they doing for SmackDown Friday? Because that would be a heck of a turn and burn.
My guess is maybe they're going to record something, or they did it last week possibly, and they didn't announce it.
But
because I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, same. But yeah, it didn't really feel like a go-home show. It kind of felt like a pretty normal episode of Raw. Yeah. Like I said, the six-man tag itself, perfectly serviceable main event. It's still an adjustment seeing Damian Priest in there as the world champion and hear him announced as the world champion.
Yeah. The one thing, I said this last week, but I'll bring it up again this week, is how it was with JD, McDonagh, and Santos as a tag team. Those two actually did pretty good. Like, it felt very fluid.
Mm-hmm.
And then this week was different.
I wanted to not to throw you guys off, but I wanted to talk about, just now that the draft is over, I guess I wanted to talk about it as a whole. Because how did you guys feel? I don't want to be too down on it. If you guys enjoyed it, how did you guys feel about the draft this year?
Draft is probably the term they should use to describe what they did. Because it's an interesting concept, because like a draft, typically when you think about it in terms of a sporting event, you're talking about taking people from not the professional level and bringing them to the professional level.
Mm-hmm.
And then otherwise you have things like trades. And this is really more of a series of trades than drafting.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also an odd system that they had set up where it's you had to draft people to the show that they were already on in order to protect them being there. So many of the picks were spent just keeping your main event players on your show that you already had them on. I don't know. It didn't really resonate with me. I was pretty excited going into it. I'm fine with where people landed for the most part. I'm glad that NXT, unless things are happening in the supplemental right now, NXT didn't get just like, absolutely just like rated of talent. So I'm happy about that. But overall, this is, again, trying to stay positive, but like this was a thumbs down draft for me as drafts go. Nothing really crazy surprising. If anything, like what surprised me the most was how little sense some of it made. I expected a little bit more out of the current administration in terms of logic and storytelling than we seem to have gotten from this. One of the things I'll point out is that the LWO got drafted with Carlito included, when clearly Carlito is not in.
They didn't file the paperwork yet. You see,
I guess
that's what it
you're
was.
right.
You gotta file faction paperwork.
You're right. You're right. Roman Reigns got his shit in at the last minute to withdraw from the draft. Otherwise, his ass would be in NXT right now.
It's good to have a wise man for the paperwork.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you got Paul Heyman.
I agree with you mostly about the format. Not so much that they didn't draft from NXT. It mostly they did a bit. And I don't know if maybe they should shift the format to just drafting stars from NXT, because then you do end up with a situation where you pick it dry. And it's still a TV show, so but the old format saw it so that only the people who were moving shows got announced.
That's
they
a better
didn't waste
idea.
your time. That's how it was. They were like, I'm getting this guy and I'm taking this guy. And like that's what it was. Why the fuck did they make it so complicated? What's the point of like what was the point of
wrestling
doing it this way? Well, they had such a good formula before. It made for such good television. What was the I assume this was maybe a shift to make it more quote unquote realistic. But and it's not the first time they've done it this way. They've been doing this is what the second or third time they've done a draft where they just announce the people who are on the brand that they want to keep and protect. That's such a stupid TV concept. If this was real life, then I would understand. But it's as a television show, as something that's supposed to entertain me. They had such a good formula back then. What the fuck happened here?
Yeah, I mean, and there was an element of randomness to it. Well, like seeming randomness to it, because it wasn't really picks, right? Like they would bring out the bingo wheel, or they'd have the thing on the screen, which I loved, where it would just like flash all of the wrestlers' images, and
I remember that
settle out. Like, I like that. To me, that made more sense as to why people would move shows. Yeah, when you establish that you have to protect stars on your program that you want to keep there, that really puts some pretty heavy handcuffs on what you can do storyline wise.
It makes the whole thing seem like we're wasting time. Like we're just stalling. It's a waste of an episode. It's a waste of your time to watch it.
It was cool getting to see the reactions of the NXT talent.
Oh yeah,
that's where it counted. That was cool. Things were happening.
And there seemed like genuine emotion from everyone getting called up, and it felt like a really big deal. And Sean hugging people and saying God knows what in their ear, but like,
you got this, baby boy.
and then Blair Davenport's like, "Why did you call me baby boy? I don't understand."
He's like, shh.
I'm looking at it.
Did you guys?
Sorry, the eye.
Wait, Blair? Did you guys see Lexus during the NXT videos in the front row?
He was like the biggest cheerleader.
He was like Pat McAfee, but like tolerable.
That was really cool. That was the coolest part of the draft. That was the coolest part of the whole draft thing that they did. It was seeing the NXT stars get surprised. I mean, it felt like Ilya and Carmelo, they knew what was up already, but like everyone else was like, holy shit, oh, I can't believe this happened. And honestly, they were surprise picks. They weren't the picks that we would have thought. Roxanne Perez in NXT. What happened?
Well,
She's stuck.
They put the parameter of champions being ineligible.
Yeah, they're protected.
That's crazy. No, but I mean, like as a whole, like, why did we put the belt on her and put her in this situation? Like, why? What happened? What did she do?
She pissed somebody off.
But who? But who?
No, I imagine they can just call her up whenever, so it doesn't matter. But like, What did you think as the NXT guy, Tyler?
Ooh.
I I like Lyra as a call up. She's ready. I think absolutely. I'll be interested to see how they spin her character on the main roster, because we say this a lot. Things that work on the NXT level don't always translate to the main roster. But that was when you were working with two very different systems, and now you're working with two very similar systems that can actually like help one another, and one can feed the other. And Shawn and Triple H communicate well, and Hunter's going to understand what Shawn was doing with people, and Hunter's actually paying attention to what's going on down there. So I think she's a great call up. Dijak, obviously, he's totally turned it on down there. As I said several weeks ago on the NXT show, I am a proud Dijaculator now, as they're calling themselves. It's going to catch on. It really is. It's not going to be on T-shirts immediately, but
You sure?
Not immediately.
I don't think you can wear that to pick up your children. That's a big issue. Like you have to go outside with the shirt on. I'm a Dijaculator. You're going on a list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top 100 people.
And here's the thing: like, we live relatively close to the school. I don't want to have to move. Like, that's. Yeah, actually, speaking of like, if that were on a T-shirt, like I gotta say, as a 38-year-old, soon to be 39-year-old wrestling fan, I've gotten so choosy about my wrestling shirts. Like in high school, it was like the most garish of things I would don on my body, but now it's just like I need shit to not look that much like a wrestling shirt.
I actually get that. I actually get that entirely, 100%. My issue used to be that their shirts felt like cardboard, but I hear that they're better now, so I've got to check it out.
See, I got a question, actually.
What's up?
So I know that in the past with a certain, shall we say, official, every time someone would go from NXT to main, they would change something like their name, their theme, something. Could this still be a thing, you think? Or is that finally gone?
It certainly could happen. Like I mean, it's possible, because even Triple H's NXT, when it was like pure Triple H NXT,
a
guy would make his debut as Punishment Martinez, and then the next week he got his name and he was Damian Priest. You know what I mean? So I mean, you never know. But they established them on television as these characters, and it'd be pretty stupid to shift them again. Like, that's some Vince era shit.
I just don't want to tune in to next Monday and hear like, here's Valkyria. It's like, wasn't she Lyra last week?
Oh, I think Triple H likes the idea of first and last names. I don't think he's going to arbitrarily draw.
But you guys, why don't we, I guess, talk about all the draft picks at the same time?
Woo!
I thought that'd be cool, because it's a draft. It's a draft episode.
John's first pick.
The Raw draft picks. The SmackDown guys, they did a great job going over their SmackDown picks. Definitely go check them out over on Fridays.
Woo!
You can see them every single Friday, and you can watch them on demand right now. You can watch that like part 1, like Infinity War, and this is Endgame. For fucking podcasts. Stephanie McMahon does the first round here. I have a list in front of me. I can send it to you, unless you have it, Tyler.
I got a list.
Oh, perfect. Yes, you can take care of that for us, my friend.
All right. So draft segment 1 tonight, we did have Stephanie McMahon making her first Raw appearance.
In a while.
In a very, very, very long time. But the first pick for Raw on that round was Imperium. Imperium here being Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. They did get their paperwork in on time, so Giovanni Vinci not included with that pick. So Imperium, Gunther, and Ludwig Kaiser. SmackDown took Jade Cargill. Raw took Damage Control. So actually like a move here. And then SmackDown took Kevin Owens, keeping him. So the only real move there being Damage Control to Raw, which will be an interesting change. Because again, for some reason, all of the titles were locked into place except for the women's tag title.
Yeah.
There's only one set of those.
I I think it's what I didn't want to retread what we were saying earlier. I was like, God, this is so fucked up. But Damage Control to Raw does shake up like the entire women's division, doesn't it? It's like it seemed like a one thing move, but it's literally 4 women who shifted into the
And
Raw
instead of
women's
belts.
division and 4 top tier women. And I was like, I'm sure, and I don't know how long before Dakota's like. I mean, is she fully cleared? She's good to go.
Yeah, she's working. Yeah,
She's done
is, right?
matches, yeah.
Oh, so then hell yeah, that's awesome for Raw.
And then she'll get injured at pay-per-view.
No, I don't.
no,
think so.
no.
She's great.
Oh, she is. She is.
But that's definitely a big get for Raw, and that'll be nice there. You know, and again, like they've got another hour of programming to fill, so it makes sense if they would kind of bulk them up just a little bit. They're going to have an easier time supporting the women's tag titles on a regular basis if it's properly done anyway, which we'll see.
Just gotta.
I imagine it will be. I'm thinking more of the possibilities. Like I see that I'm looking at them as like 4 separate entities. Like we've brought 4, and I don't know. I prefer singles matches all the time, so I'm always thinking about like the championship match possibilities. And I would love to see EO Sky having great matches with the girls on Raw now, the way she was having with the girls on SmackDown. I'm excited.
I could see it. Rhea Ripley.
When she's back, eventually, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before Rhea is back.
That's the unfortunate part.
Hey.
Can we ban him from the chat?
I'm nothing if not a paragon of positivity. I'm practically DDP. Okay, I'm just trying to take in a positive outlook here. Bang. All right. So the second draft segment saw. Let's see who hosted. We had. Oh, this is when we had I Show Speed and Logan Paul. This is when you missed I Show Speed, Caesar.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I Show Speed.
That was cool though. It's basically it's a real life like childhood fan up there getting to announce.
I gotta say, like, I only know who he is because of his involvement with wrestling. I asked the kids if they knew who he was, and they said no, which I was surprised about. They know who Logan Paul is.
Logan Paul's fine.
I mean, to be granted, the 10-year-old was like the Prime guy, and I'm like, that sure, yeah, he's the Prime guy. Great. I'd rather you know him as the Prime guy than like some of the other crap he was known for. So
that's better. Yeah. They're better off not knowing because they're probably watching things with substance if watching anything. So that's a great thing.
The oldest knows what Vine was, but was not old enough to have experienced it. But we had Logan Paul and I Show Speed out there. And Raw's first pick was CM Punk, which again, like you had to spend a lot of time keeping people that you wanted on your show. SmackDown's pick was The Pride, which is of course Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Raw's pick was Braun Strowman. So Braun Strowman returning to Raw. And then SmackDown was Tiffany Stratton keeping Tiffy there.
Tiffy time.
It is Tiffy time.
SmackDown is Tiffy.
Good to see Braun Strowman back too.
Hell yeah. About time.
Yeah. He was on the graphic for the eligible people, and I was kind of surprised by that. I didn't know that he was like coming back. He did like the vodka thing at WrestleMania.
Vodka thing.
Yeah, it was like a vodka ad. It was like one of those ads that are supposed to feel like it's a normal conversation between people, but like it's obviously an ad because all of the labels are like front facing and towards the camera. But yeah, it's awesome to see Braun back. I don't know if I heard him or not, but it kind of sounded like he might have dropped an F-bomb.
I missed that.
Like after, I swear to God, he shouted, "The monster's fucking back." But I might have misheard that. But hey, it's a different era. PG's done.
Live TV.
I thought he was going to be part of the Bray Wyatt thing, the Bo Dallas thing. Uncle Howdy. Yeah. I mean, I guess he still can be.
I mean, he still could be. He still could be, and just kind of like do multiple things. But he's one of those guys where it's kind of hard to like hide him. Like
what?
Those are the Vince days. I think actually when they drafted DIY, I figured that Candice LeRae and Indy would go because I was like, well, they're not splitting up couples anymore. That was Vince's sick fetish. You know, like yeah, he was weird
Clear.
for that.
Well, now Tiffany Stratton is on SmackDown and
Ludwig on Raw.
They're breaking
Lulu
up.
on Raw.
That's messed up.
They're breaking up.
But they've
That
been
had
here for
happened,
a
right?
while.
And I mean, I guess they had already been split, right? They
Yeah.
weren't they weren't traveling together and then split up, right? Because she was on
Right.
NXT and then got called up to. Did she get called up at all before now? She was on like SmackDown.
Yeah,
It was
Elimination
Elimination Chamber. Yeah, she got
Yeah.
called up earlier this year. Fuck yeah.
TV time in Australia.
so.
I'm sorry, folks. I smoked marijuana before we went on there.
I love how it's like a heart to heart right now about it. It's like, sorry, guys.
Like, guys, just come in real close.
Yeah.
Just gonna...
Go a little closer.
Give me a hug. Don't mind the smell.
Guys, who's paying for the
Smells
pizza?
like weed.
Wow, this goes off the different direction.
Just was huge. I mean, yeah, we're still rolling through it here. Going through my notes here to get to the draft segment number 3 with the APA, JBL, Farouk, Ron Simmons.
Damn.
Eggs.
Block him?
Eggs.
Bleeded.
Raw in this round chose the LWO, which again, as stated earlier, included Carlito, despite the fact that he was surprised Pikachu when they showed him to be the attacker. So that happened.
They were drafted in bulk. They were taking people in chunks.
You get 5, we get 1.
That's
Yeah,
always
this
been
is-
so weird to me.
Like,
But
here's
I get it.
here is a faction. Like,
Here's 10 people, you get 2. I get
It
9, you
serves-
get 1.
It serves the story purpose, but it's so
Right.
fucking weird to me. Like you can draft 18 people at once.
Yeah.
like hell, imagine like if they were drafting like, certain stages of the NWO. It's like you get 75 wrestlers on your
You get the
roster for
wolf
this.
pack.
But the thing is, you also have to deal with having like Buff Bagwell and like Scott Norton. Now I say that for how Scott Norton was presented. No disrespect to Scott Norton, the wrestler, as I don't want to piss him off because I hear that he was a legit badass.
We're canceled.
Worse, we're made enemies.
We've already made. I mean, look, we made good with Baron Corbin. We were on the verge of becoming enemies with him. I'm concerned about Ridge Holland at this point for things we say about him on the NXT show. But
I think
that's neither
Aldis
here nor-
blocked us. Well, I don't on Twitter, and I still don't know
What?
why. I still
Why?
don't know why. I don't know. I don't have a clue.
You see the F
Did
word?
did somebody say something about Mickey James?
No, absolutely not. I think Mickey James, because she's such a wonderful wrestler. I can imagine what I would have said because I've
I'm gonna
never had an issue.
tweet Nick all
I
this right
have
now.
called him boring, but like on the air, like I've never made a stance about it. I've never said like Nick, all this is boring. Tweet
Oh,
like
I can still
it was
tweet him.
just you shouldn't. No, but
Ask, why did you block Dirt Sheet Radio? Wait, John, did he block DSR or did he block you personally?
no, he blocked DSR.
Okay, all right.
Maybe he just hates dirt sheets. It could
Maybe,
be.
maybe.
I imagine it could be.
I
I'm
could
gonna ask him.
live on air. But SmackDown shows Legado del Fantasma, which this was rough to hear Ron Simmons read their names individually.
Yeah.
He had a hard time. He should have just said Legado del Fantasma. Just leave it at that. But
Or you said legato. Done.
JBL, okay, but JBL being the ones who announced the LWO is crazy, right? I'm not bugging.
I guess I didn't think about
Consider-
that until just now. I didn't
Considering
realize
a
that.
character, right? I was
Those are
like, oh
character.
shit, somebody somewhere has a sense of humor.
Yeah, that's that's on point for like a JBL bit too. When the cats are being cats tonight. That's completely on point for being a JBL style bit too. Like, I wonder if he asked about that. Like if he's like, "Can I give the LWO? Can I say that one?"
Let me do it. I know how to do it. I practice saying their names.
Well, because I was like, I saw this clip floating around as a SmackDown clip of Booker when he was still active wrestling on the SmackDown roster, complaining about how he was being treated by Teddy Long, and JBL just shouts, "Teddy Long is a racist," and it's just like in reference to Booker T, like in how he's treating him. And it was just like, damn, JBL. Like, they should get him back on commentary, actually.
Next month.
He's too busy enjoying life, being retired.
In the, where's he living? The Bahamas or?
Some fans, yeah, I think it is like the Bahamas or something.
It's somewhere where they can't see your bank accounts and you don't have to pay tax.
Oh, the Cayman Islands.
That might be.
Spoiler.
But Raw picks Drew McIntyre again, keeping him where he's at, and then SmackDown taking Nakamura, which again is actually one of the moves here, which I think that's a good move.
Hell yeah.
He's doing
fresh start,
less than nothing. Yeah. Like he's just been losing on Raw. So
we're gonna see a winning streak, hopefully. Finally.
Something. Like I was just, the first program that pops to mind would be him working a U.S. title feud, but he wouldn't win that. So again, I'm putting him right back into a category of something he would have to lose.
Maybe put him in a tag team with somebody.
No, I mean, what else could you do, right? But
yeah,
I'd like to see him used, the way. I mean, well, not properly. I'm not saying I want to see him be world champion, but I don't know.
See him get him some wins.
Not be a jobber would be nice.
Yeah, right.
To start, start.
He got 2 wins on SmackDown. Let's keep him there.
Oh, goodness. All right. So the fourth draft segment this evening, we had Teddy Long and Alundra Blaze. Interesting pairing. Have out there, but hey, got Alundra Blaze on TV.
Did you see when Punk, or was that the right one? No, that was later. Never mind. My bad. I'm reading ahead by accident.
Fair enough. But in this round, Raw chose the Judgment Day.
Say the name.
Finn Balor.
No, not that one.
Oh, Dominic Mysterio.
Dominique, apparently.
He did say Dominique. But
yep.
JD McDonagh. But SmackDown chose to retain, I suppose, at Naomi. Then Raw with one of the bigger picks here, Ilya Dragunov moving up.
That was
Raw,
wicked.
which will be great. Because that means they can get him into a program with Gunther because they can work Wildfire together, and the main roster audience needs to see this because they haven't, and it's going to be great. But yeah, that's gonna be a good move. I think he's gonna blow up there. I think it's gonna be great for Dragon.
He commented on it too. He basically said being on the same brand as Gunther is destiny.
Ooh.
It's coming. So, I mean, we're having that conversation. Should Ilya join Imperium?
He'll be the coming.
I think it's a good in for him. It would be a very short-term thing because I don't think you would want to define Ilya as someone who's subservient. I think you want him to have that, alpha streak immediately. And so, they could put him with them. And then it could just be an immediate conflict of he doesn't want to take orders. He's going to, do what he thinks right. But I think it's a good way to get him in and kind of to get the attention of the main roster audience.
I actually don't want to see. I don't want to see him in the group at all because it kind of him. I guess they could do a thing where it's I respect you so much after all of our wars, Gunther. Yeah, but they hated each other so, and it was so physical, and they beat the actual shit out of each other. It was excellent. I kind of don't want to see them turn on that and then go. I mean, I guess it is WWE, and you do want to, you want to tell that story, so you want to maybe add that element to it. Okay, well, they'll try to respect each other first, and then it'll break apart, and then we'll have the match at SummerSlam. Whereas I'm you should walk up to Gunther next week and slap him in the fucking face.
just walk up to him and just headbutt him.
Just slap him. Just right? Well, how cool would that be, though?
That'd actually be really fucking badass, and that would make a hell of an impact too. That'd be great.
How was your first day on Raw? I just headbutted this guy.
The biggest guy in the room. I was looking for the biggest dude in the room, and I remember you. Headbutted him. They don't even have to go right into it. It can just be like, "I'll see you down the line, motherfucker." I don't know.
That could just be how he introduced himself to a lot of just big guys. Walks up to Sheamus, nice to meet you.
Bronson
Bam!
Reed.
It's like Bronson Reed, bam.
Hey,
that's awesome.
I'm laughing at what you retweeted there, John.
What's
When
that?
Dijak said, "Hey, I got drafted to Raw, by the way."
He did tweet that. That's actually funny because
I just saw that. I was just breaking out laughing.
I wonder if it was out. I think we were the first people to tweet that he got drafted to Raw.
Oh, I feel bad though.
Is that bad? Did we do something bad?
It's like he has to actually acknowledge it. Go, guys, listen, I got drafted. It's like, yeah, we know.
We knew.
We know.
That's great.
We are big fans of Dijak here.
The biggest.
DSR. But yeah, Ila's a great get for Raw. Absolutely.
I'm excited to see
that's
that
why
goes.
I was hoping he was going to land. I feel like, I don't know. It's mostly because of Gunther. That's why I want him to land on Raw, because I want to see that match again. So
it'll be interesting.
But then SmackDown shows Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, which could give them good fresh scenery. Little change up there.
Well, they keep saying now.
I'm sad that we don't get the Samantha Irving Chelsea Green intro anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
we don't hear that anymore.
Maybe they'll make the other dude try it.
That'd be fantastic. I would have loved.
I'm actually going to wait for SmackDown this week and see that happens.
You can just have Chelsea like complain to him.
There you go. That's how you get it done.
Well, like Adam Pearce said, have her, Nick. She's all yours. Oh, about it.
Yeah, again, that's been some great long-term storytelling that they've done with Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce and Chelsea Green. This has been like a 10-month angle that they've run.
It's so simple, but it's been so entertaining.
And it's great. And now she's gone to SmackDown. So.
He's so upset about it.
He was thrilled.
He's partying right now.
Oh, which by the way, I want to point out, I saw on the social medias that Adam Pearce said that his bright red suit jacket tonight was dedicated or inspired by Jim Cornette. So just want to put that out there for everybody.
He said afterwards he should have said Jim Mitchell.
But this segment for the draft, the fifth draft segment of the evening, the Dudley Boys, which it's weird for me to call them Dudley Boys. They are definitely Dudley men. They might be Dudley grandparents at this point. I'm not really sure.
Grand Dudleys?
It's the same reason I have a hard time calling Shawn Michaels the Heartbreak Kid. Like, no, at most now you're the heartburn guy. Like, it's
Heartbreak Kid.
I say, and sure,
HBG baby.
Yep,
HBG,
heartburn guy. But in this round, Raw took Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods as the New Day. SmackDown took Pretty Deadly. Raw got Lyra Valkyria, which again got that great cut into the Performance Center. Very tearful, hugging Shawn, the whole thing. Like, and again, she looked like I was curious. Do you guys think they knew?
No way.
I think
no way.
No, what I think is they knew that they were told to show up for like the celebration for whoever does get picked. But they weren't told they're being picked. They're like, listen, show up, be like dressed up, however, and cheer on your other NXT people. That's it. I could see that.
And it's like I said, it's such a surprise pick. Like I didn't see that coming at all. Like Lyra, I swore it was gonna be Roxanne Perez. But again, I guess the champions are protected.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that was a very cool moment.
Yeah.
And
again,
genuine.
a good get. Like she's fantastic in the ring. She's great on the mic. I'll be interested to see how the main roster audience accepts her and what they do with her character-wise.
You know how I know it was legit? She was still crying like 10 minutes later when they called Blair Davenport.
Damn.
And Lyra's in the background, like in tears still. I was like, yeah, they did. There's no way they knew.
Which is cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Which I guess is, again, that's kind of an older school thing to the draft too. Because I think back in the day when it was the randomizer version of the draft, they typically didn't tell the talent where they were going.
But they were assholes about it back then. Like they were doing it to be dickheads.
Spiteful, right?
It was definitely spiteful. Could you imagine not knowing that you're gonna get split up from your wife? or Bobby Lashley's like, I'm out of here.
I'm out. I'm out.
Breaks up with her on the spot. Peace.
Damn.
It's like, that's horrible.
Different area codes. But then SmackDown chose Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Again, actually moving them. They're actually a move here.
Indy's not on Raw anymore. Allowed to be upset.
Did Maxine? Do we feel like Maxine got her comeuppance? Like, did she get back at Candice for being such a dick?
No,
right?
No, but you know what? Sometimes the villain wins.
Yeah, she definitely did right now.
Like, unless
Royal
it's
Rumble.
something they circle back to,
Royal
but
Rumble.
like, I don't know if you want to circle back to a feud whose premise is built around one of the women being really shitty at their job.
And she's never going to be able to redeem herself. Like, I got better at my job. No, now she's actually going to be in a storyline where they're going to talk down to her for even longer. Which is weird.
Yeah. It's getting worse for old Maxine Dupree, or Maxine Dupree, as Samantha likes to announce it.
The way, though.
The way. Yeah, they're all back together now over there. So that's, that's something they could, God, they'll probably do.
With A-Town Down Under.
As the tag champs. Actually, I think a program between A-Town Down Under and DIY is definitely in the very, 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 very near future. So we'll see that happen. But that'll bring us into the fifth draft segment of the night. And in this one, Raw chose The Final Testament. Which is cool. That means we get to talk about them 2 times a week now.
That must have felt weird for them because they were at the performance center, right? But for the little celebration thing,
right?
It's not like they got called up, like so.
No, they got moved from SmackDown to Raw, which weirdly enough, I feel like their presentation and their characters are more of a Raw faction. But God, I don't want to see Karrion Kross every week.
Get used to it.
Yeah, he's your guy now. He belongs to you.
Yay!
Great.
Okay, no, hold on.
No, because you think of all the possibilities. They're so incredible.
No, let's clear the air.
All the bumps he won't take.
Hey, Karrion Kross or Ivar? Who would you rather see?
Fucking Ivar. Ivar's a good wrestler. I say it all the time. Ivar is good in the ring.
We know you hate the gimmick. You like the wrestler. You think you should drop it. We know.
Yeah,
it's funny because you're like, It's okay. I'm buying you a Karrion Kross t-shirt.
Does he have a t-shirt?
No. It's a black.
I think something is his TikTok. What, like a raven on it, maybe?
Okay. That's kind of cool, I guess. SmackDown took Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. #DIY. Maybe they'll get some get their old music back while they go over to SmackDown. Raw took Big Bronson Reed, and then SmackDown calling up from NXT Blair Davenport. Again, great get for them. Like Blair's incredibly skilled and talented, so that's a awesome call up.
She hasn't been how long was she down there? She wasn't down there that long, right?
Not that long, no.
Year?
About this is one of those things where I wish I need CJ for this. CJ's a little bit better on the historical aspects.
CJ, you in the chat.
I know,
Yeah.
but you know what? She was in NXT UK, so she actually was on there for a little while.
She's done her time with it. She's done her time. But yeah, but fantastic call up there. I think again, like more than half of this draft was spent just keeping people in place. And I think that's why people are viewing it as boring and viewing it as not a lot having happened.
So
And NXT didn't get shit. Like
maybe they're waiting until tomorrow. Maybe?
I guess, but like I could have sworn at some point in time they at least implied that NXT was going to be able to make a pick or two.
They did. That's
So-
why Ava was in the segment.
Yeah, because otherwise it's pretty shitty for them just to pull her out so she can be like, "Well, hi guys, I'm Ava,
Hi.
and you're gonna be taking talent from me, and I'll be getting nothing in return. Thank you."
Get
My
this-
dad's on the board. Damn it! Like she's gonna be getting some. That's it. She gets The Rock. That's it. The Rock to NXT.
I mean, it's so weird.
Oh, CJ, we were trying to figure out how long Blair Davenport had been in NXT. That's what it
Watch
was.
him give the exact date and time when she debuted.
Well,
he
he's-
he can tell you when Roxanne Perez lost the NXT championship.
He can
For
tell
sure.
you where they built a certain monument for pro wrestling.
Are there minus? But
No.
but that was the final round of the draft, and I haven't been checking for the supplemental. Like I said, the supplemental show was starting right as we were going live.
I keep poking at the WWE Twitter page.
but they haven't really posted anything.
But yeah, I do think it was a lackluster draft. That's when Roxanne Perez lost the title.
He's just whipping dates out, isn't he?
Yeah, just left and right. But no, I think it was they should have done something a little bit different with it. Like John, you were saying, like, you know, in years past, you just announced the people that are actually moving somewhere. Like announcing someone is being drafted to their show they're already on doesn't feel like an announcement.
And
No, it
it
doesn't.
gave it just made the whole show feel stale. Like I saw Sean Ross Sapp tweeted like, I don't know why people are saying nobody moved. 17 superstars have moved. And I'm like, yeah, that's fucking nice. Did it feel like you saw 17 people move from show to show? No. No, because it fucking sucked. The format sucked.
This was the most like 2009 feeling like WWE show in a very long time. If you know what I mean. Like that's really where I describe it, but like that's the best way I can describe it. Like it just kind of felt like almost like popcorn. You know what I mean? It's like it was there, it's gone, and you don't really remember it, but it happened.
Is it cool?
HBK just posted a picture with the NXT call-ups. It's actually pretty nice. I'll share it with the class in a second. Anyway.
With Hickenbottom High.
Hickenbottom High with Principal Hickenbottom with the students. There they go.
Oh.
Kiana James surprised me too.
Yeah, that was a surprise. That was probably the most surprising call up for me from NXT. She wasn't even on, you know, probably my list of the top like 15 women I would have called up.
I don't like the way they dress her. Like they make her wear like a shirt that
John, you
doesn't
sound like
fit.
me now. Now you sound like me.
It's weird. My mom watched a lot of, and my grandma too. They watched a lot of like those fashion shows. And I would sit next to them growing up. And I guess I have a thing. I don't really care for it myself, and I don't really go out of my way to dress it. But when I see something off, I can tell. It's a weird outfit. It looks like it's a shirt that looks like if it's like 8 sizes too small. And I don't know what's the look they're going for. Like, what's the gimmick?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But that was my one thought. I noticed she had it on again, but in a different color. I was like, what are we doing?
They just bought the whole gamut of.
It's a black one. She had a pink one. It's weird. It's weird.
Not good luck. Not good luck.
Guys.
Not good luck. Oh yeah, Caesar.
I did some digging while you guys were digging. Ha ha ha. I found some names, and
Who's
it's
that?
through. Do you want the source so you know if it's real or not?
Yeah, it's not WWE.
No, it's I'll make up a stupid site name. No, it says here this is from SE Scoops actually.
What did they
So
say?
so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names. It looks like. So it says here, Alba Fire or Alba Phi and Isla Dawn
Uh,
are going to Raw.
yeah, that was on Friday.
Okay, that's the only one then.
Yeah,
I'm I'm
You,
just digging around really quickly.
you did do some digging.
you dig very far.
Stop.
Thanks. Jeez.
I would have hop us around to the front of the show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna keep digging for a second
keep
here.
digging. But the show opened with the new women's champion, as crowned last week, Becky Lynch, making her way to the ring to cut a triumphant babyface promo, which she did. No, going even as far as telling the crowd that she loves them, which is about as babyface as one can possibly get.
Right.
She wasn't out there for too long before she was interrupted by Liv Morgan. Still on her revenge tour is Liv Morgan. Yeah, Cedar, what you think of this promo and the exchange between the two of them before the next person came out?
Yeah, I was cool with them actually discussing things, especially, I did this happened, because I did this. That was cool. They're starting to talk, they're starting to get things going. Where it's going, we gotta wait still. But the next part, can we skip
Well,
it?
I'm
Possibly?
glad they got right into it, though. I'm glad they
Yeah.
got right into Becky and Liv. Like we didn't play, but then it turns out we
Next
actually
part.
did have a we. Oh no, you know what? Bullshit. Because Nia Jax is leaving anyway. This was literally her
Yeah.
goodbye. They're just closing a door on her part in this whole thing, which is fine. But
Yeah. Yeah, she'll be moving on after this, but yeah, so Nia Jax comes out and Nia Jaxes everything up. But yeah, this is kind of her Raw swan song. She'll be moving to the blue brand. I think they said, was it this Friday is the last show where everything's still kind of all
yeah,
willy-nilly.
that's weird. I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah, that's also
Willy-nilly.
something new this year. It's like these shows are kind of in limbo. I guess it's because the PLE is Saturday.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I
like
guess.
everything's kind of locked in for that. So
Then why the fuck wasn't Friday night too? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
I have a lot of questions coming out of this draft for
We all do.
Limbo night.
but I Limbo Night. That's what they should call it, Limbo Night. It's a special show. But I think that Becky's crowd reaction was okay tonight. I was a little concerned last week that the pop she got for winning was a pop for winning, because I feel like people were showing a little Becky fatigue going into WrestleMania. So I didn't know if she was going to be flat out rejected getting the belt. I know that a lot of us weren't too particularly pleased with her winning the belt last week. But I thought that her crowd response was pretty even. What'd you guys think?
I agree with you on that. I was looking to see if she was going to get booed or something like that, but no, it didn't look like it. So, but Liv got a great reaction still. She. What are they going to do about that at the pay-per-view? I think in France, I think it's going to be a different story. Or no, they don't have a match announced, do they?
Nope.
No. Oh, fuck me. I guess what's the pay-per-view after that?
Money in the Bank? No. King of the Ring?
I think it is Money in the Bank.
No, is it Money in the Bank like June, July?
Yeah, in another country too.
Yeah, it would be because the June pay-per-view is usually Money in the Bank. So May Backlash, Money in the Bank, early June.
Bring back Bad Blood.
Right?
They should. That's a good name too, with 2 D's. That's how you knew it was like, extreme and from the early 2000s.
It's such a pro wrestling name for a show. Bad Blood.
Bad Blood.
All right,
there will be bleeding.
We have a Bad Blood match tonight.
No.
That was the quality of the match. It was terrible. Terrible match.
Yeah, it was just bad.
But But speaking of matches that aren't terrible, but maybe have some questionable storytelling, we had Gunther with his good buddy Ludwig Kaiser taking on Xavier Woods with his good buddy at ringside, Kofi Kingston. Gunther picks up the win here in 16 minutes. And guys, I love me some Xavier Woods. I do. I really, really do. But I don't think that in a singles one-on-one presentation, you can really make an argument that Xavier Woods is presented on the same level as Gunther.
No,
And
not at all.
he was really given a lot of offense and hang on time here with Gunther tonight. Like, there are wrestlers that I think were ranked much higher on the card that lasted much less time with Gunther in the ring. That was my only real issue with the match. The match was fantastic. Otherwise, like I said, like Xavier Woods looked great in here. I just question how it made Gunther look, seeming to struggle in 16 minutes to beat someone that, you know,
Is half his size
dances on main event.
and plays video games on YouTube and streaming.
Hey, we're not going to degrade streaming, Caesar.
Gaming streaming.
Literally, I mean, when he came out a couple weeks ago and he was like, "I'm a former King of the Ring too," I thought they were playing on him being overconfident because of that, or maybe he's lying to himself as a character. I don't know if we should be looking that deep into pro wrestling characters, but he came off confident and cocky, so I can at least believe that he believed in himself enough to get some stuff off of Gunther. Because in the end, Gunther basically like murders him and Kofi's gonna throw the towel in, but again, Xavier's got pride. He's like, no, and you know, he ends up tapping out anyway to a nasty STF. Like the elbows were unnecessary, but they were in
there. Yeah, it's I don't know. I said, like, it was a great match, but whew, just the longer it went, I just had that in my nose. It's like how much are they going to give Xavier Woods here? And again, I like Xavier Woods. It's just that it's Gunther coming off of the historical longest, you know, Intercontinental Championship reign ever.
Yeah.
And now he's going 16 minutes with Xavier Woods.
16 minutes. Sheesh.
I'll have to double check my match times here.
It was 2 segments, 2 commercial segments.
I'm 90% sure that was the longest match tonight. I'm pretty sure it was.
Which is, I guess that I wonder if that was a response to the commentary about last week's show on SmackDown that had like 20 minutes of wrestling altogether.
Possibly. But I mean, if you're going to have a long competitive match, this isn't the 2 people you do it with.
Should have been a 6-man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which I said, as we said at the top of the show, was 11 minutes long. So, but yeah, otherwise good match. Caesar, what do you think, man?
I mean, it's weird seeing Gunther go from, like you were saying, this big thing to go against Xavier. My only question is, and maybe someone else said this, I was still digging, so I kind of went my little world for a minute there. Do you guys think they're stalling until like post Backlash, and then they're gonna start cooking with like storylines, or are they gonna start like doing stuff at Backlash to build?
I think Backlash. I think the Raw following Backlash, that's probably gonna be the freshest that we're going to have felt. Because I think that's kind of like, you know, we had Mania, we had the follow up for Mania, we've got the draft that's taken place over the last couple shows. You've got this PLE, and then everything's fresh from there. So yeah, I think so. I think that's gonna be our big reset.
I would prefer if they kind of started at the pay-per-view. Like, I know there's the urge to like close the door and start fresh afterwards, but it's like, you know, unless it's WrestleMania, like I don't really mind if we're doing like big ass angles on the pay-per-view. Like the Attitude Era, that was one of the things they used to do really well, actually.
Mm-hmm.
My one question,
you got your money's worth anyway.
My one question is like, okay, Priest is gonna stay champion on Raw for the next little while, But then, are we gonna see eventually Gunther being pushed into like the title picture? Like, I mean, obviously it's not gonna be the next like month or two, but 2024 possibly, or do we let it sit? Like,
he seemed to be going after the King of the Ring immediately.
okay,
And
so he'll go that way first then.
if he wins that,
When?
which I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he. I don't know. I mean, history hasn't been kind with King of the Ring, right? I feel like William Regal was like the last serious one, and then other ones were like, it was like a joke when they gave you the thing. Your career went downhill. But this is a new company, right? We're giving them second chances. If they really wanted to make it a serious thing, Gunther would be the person to do it with. You know, he's already got a regal presence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give him a cape.
I think part of the issue is that like they went to full tilt with the King gimmick after that William Regal win, because like calling him King Regal and seeing him sit in the throne it's like that made a lot of sense, and then I think that push went down from when a bunch of the guys got popped, which is a real shame because I'm pretty sure that William Regal was on track to be a fucking world champion.
He definitely was going to get that big gold, and that image haunts me. William Regal. We could have had William.
That's
Regal
one of those big. That's one of the
biggest
like missed what ifs in wrestling, in my opinion. But like I feel like after that, like it was cursed or something. Like after that, like it hurt everybody that touched that crown.
It was on purpose. It was on purpose.
Yeah,
it was a joke. It was that sick culture they had where they did things like this on television because the fan base was going to watch it anyway and because it entertained them.
yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. It probably will be Gunther winning that, but we're going to jump a couple segments here because we talked about the draft segment. After the draft segment that had IShowSpeed and Logan Paul, Logan made his way to the ring and cut a Logan Paul promo on Raw, which we don't get on Raw too often. But just it was an interesting thing. So in this, they establish you've got your Kansas City celebrities in the venue tonight. Can we talk about the fact that Mahomes was basically a heel in Kansas City tonight?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I don't understand what was the logic behind that, but I think
it was bizarre. It was so bizarre. It's like, is it because it's like he thinks that Logan Paul's cool? Like, is that what it is? Like Logan Paul's the association there? Like,
it seemed they had him stare down Braun Strowman, and I don't know what they could possibly be thinking because I don't think people like that can get physical.
No, NFL has. I think ever since Rodman back in the day missed that practice, I think they started putting shit in their contracts.
He was a basketball player, though.
So what?
I think he was a basketball player, though, right?
Well, yeah, but still, though, I think that, like, for pro sports in general, I think that's where that shift happened.
He fucked it up for everybody.
Well, you miss, he didn't need to show up to that practice. They were winning that game anyway. It was fine.
But
that was
he skipped it.
You're absolutely right, though. He gives Logan Paul these Super Bowl rings. Like, that was such a weird thing.
It was bizarre. I mean, it's not like he hit him himself, but like it's one of the things that almost felt like it's like who Logan Paul is, but you don't watch the product at all, do you, Mo? You have no idea what's going on here. But yeah, no, it was perfectly fine celebrity involvement. The damage from the Super Bowl ring shot that ended up landing on JD McDonagh's giant forehead. That's makeup, yes? We're all agreed on that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's funny as hell, though.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Finn's reaction in that is just bloody fantastic. Oh goodness. But yeah, again, like I feel like we're saying this repeatedly tonight. The segment was perfectly passable, serviceable segment, but it did feel very placeholdery. A lot of this show tonight, it felt like just one of those it just felt like a show that existed because it had to happen because they had to do a show tonight.
It didn't even feel like a go home show either. It just
No,
like you said,
we have
it
a
felt like an
pay-per-view
episode.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
not
much.
I don't know. Again, any kind of stare down between them, I don't know what that could possibly lead to. Because like you're saying, John, they can't have a match.
I still think he
Loopholes.
might. I still think he might go into that Uncle Howdy thing. There's a couple of those Caesars that are like, remember who you are. You can be talking to him.
Well, and we had a couple glitch spots tonight. Not 100% what they all led to this evening. I know interesting. I said this a couple weeks ago, but these things these wig me out a little bit. I love it. There's something very found footagey about this. And I talk about I like the spooky shit when it's not done in an incredibly hokey way. And this for me so far hasn't really hit hokey yet, and I'm hoping we don't go there because I'm really enjoying these glitches and bumps and teasers.
Yeah, that's actually a highway in Alberta.
Wait until Bo Dallas sets Randy Orton on fire.
Ooh, it's a SmackDown episode.
Oh God, flame on! That'd be fantastic. That's the big finish for Friday night. You just blew their storyline.
You see, it's long-term storytelling. You see, because
damn it, Sean.
I do love their long-term storytelling right now.
Oh, that's something Triple H is doing very well, setting up these long-term stories and paying them off. A year or two later, I'm excited to see what's going to pay off in the future. Now, what are we too in the weeds to see right now that's being planted? Though I don't really see anything.
I think that we're going to eventually get the reveal of who was really the anonymous Raw GM. I think they're going to retcon that, and it will no longer have been Hornswoggle.
They should.
And for that matter, the DNA test got switched around. Hornswoggle wasn't Vince's kid either. We're pulling Hornswoggle out of all this shit that he got put into. Sorry, Hornswoggle.
Tear up the ring. Tour. They pack up Little People's Court.
It's done. They're all going
back?
down. It's over. All right, but the back end of the show, after Mahomes got booed by the town that he won Super Bowl for, we had Chad Gable hanging out backstage with R-Truth. And he was telling the truth. He drove a hard bargain, and this was leading into the reveal that they were setting up for a tag match later that night. Seeing Chad Gable be a little bit devious, a little bit underhanded, taking advantage of R-Truth until the Miz steps in there and kind of sticks up for his buddy, his far too trusting friend, R-Truth. What'd you guys think of the segment tonight, and how Chad Gable's looking in his heel persona?
I'm all for it.
It's another one of those slow burns. Though this one, I'm impatient. I'm like, I want to get to the Creed brothers. Did we get to talk about old Dominic Mysterio?
Oh no. I missed it. Yes, the segment in the background. They love doing these background segments.
They do.
I'm digging these.
I like that. But yeah, they were seen walking single file to hide their numbers. But again, Liv said that she was going to take everything.
I called that so hard. I was like,
you did a few weeks ago. You did say that.
They're totally gonna have her bang Dominic. I didn't know it was gonna actually do it in the broom closet on TV.
Classy.
Yep. Dirty Dom.
Hey,
or
Dominique.
Dirty Sanchez, as his father called him tonight. Which, my God, I can't believe that was said on Raw in 2024.
Canceled.
Like it's like fuck. We were all thinking it, Ray. That's your son, man. You know what? Don's right. Like for a father to go on national television and say something like that about his firstborn,
On 2024.
like, come on, Ray. You are a deadbeat, Ray. The fuck, man.
I could never.
Where's our
Yeah.
big Ray hater? Where's Matthew?
I can't imagine.
Is he here still?
He knows. But fucking Ray.
Oh man.
Kayfabe. See,
There he is.
deadbeat. He's a deadbeat.
It's like Joe Henry. I mentioned his name. He showed up.
I wish that'd be so sick. But no, I do like the evil Gable. There's something very, I don't know, almost like comic book villainy about it. There's a Lex Luthor aspect to this character where he's almost too slimy for his own good.
He's very collected and not like. So I'm kind of enjoying that. It's not. He's not being like overly. He's just like that segment last week where he was talking about this about Otis, this about Maxine, this about Tozawa. Like he was giving them individual things. He wasn't just like, "You're all shit." It was like, listen, So it's. I kind of agree with John. It should go a little bit faster, but if they do it properly, let it go steady.
It's fine. I mean, I don't want it to go faster. I'm just like, I just personally am excited to see it get there already.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't want them to mess it up.
It is cool seeing this kind of, Chad Gable. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Very much enjoying the evil Chad Gable on his quest for the IC title. Speaking of the Intercontinental Championship, we had Sami Zayn and Bronson Reed in an Intercontinental Championship match. First time ever. Sami Zayn taking on big Bronson Reed. Sami won via DQ in just around 8 minutes there when he was predictably jumped by Chad Gable. Oh, forgot to mention that. So sorry.
Yeah, I remember
Chad
that.
was backstage. He got booted, hell of a kick out of nowhere. And then when this match was up next, it was pretty clear that Chad was going to screw this up for Sami, and he did.
I think I have a clip that I can use. It was very funny, honestly.
That's on in the background too.
Who was he? Who was he talking to? What was going on there? He seemed to just be smiling. Yeah.
Who's making these?
Hang him high on Twitter.
Hang him high on Twitter.
Hang him high.
Obviously, it's John.
No, I'm not. Well, I'm not as creative as him. He's a great young mind in the pro wrestling community, as it were.
Can we get him on the show one time?
I think if I requested, I could, but it's such a weird thing to do. Like, hey, would you like to be on the show to talk about Raw? Like, what does that have to do with Sonic rings?
It has everything.
It has everything and nothing, and that's what pro wrestling is.
If he wanted to come on, he could. If he heard that people wanted him on, he totally is free to come on.
See, there you go. The loose invitation is out there in the internet sphere now. But a perfectly fine match. Which again, like tonight was just about kind of like not really even furthering feuds all that much. It was kind of moving forward about 5 or 10 feet, which again was what this draft was.
5 or 10 feet.
Like, that's it. Like, that's how I feel about it. Sorry, Sean Ross Sapp.
Can you translate that into centimeters for me?
First of all, if it was that many feet, it would be meters. We wouldn't be using centimeters.
That was the joke. That's Canadian.
Would you like me to give you my weight in stone?
Don't do that.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. You're Canadian. Flapjacks.
Waffles.
Oh, whatever the Maple goes with.
Is there like a premier pancake place in Canada that everybody goes to? Like, like we have IHOP and Denny's, but like that's kind of shit. Like
I
nobody
don't
seems
know,
to have
honestly.
the perfect crisp to soft ratio.
Mom's
IHOP is
house.
all
Gotta go,
fluffy.
gotta go to mom's house to get the good pancakes. I
That's
want
great.
pancakes. Let's go to
We're,
pancakes.
we're going back into the show. So Drew McIntyre makes his way to the ring, pissed off and full of vinegar that he was
Piss and vinegar.
drafted so late in the show. Very angry and very interrupted by CM Punk. Hanging out in a skybox up there, waving, happy. Phil, look at him, full of Pepsi. Just so thrilled to be there.
Piss and
I don't even
Pepsi.
think he drinks it. I don't even think he fucking drinks Pepsi anymore. No
It's like
surprise.
Diet
No
soda version.
surprise.
Oh, just another thing that someone could say he's a hypocrite about, I guess.
You could say that.
One could say that. One could say I'm not going to say I'm saying it.
I
I'm
certainly didn't say
that.
But I actually think they're doing great work. It's interesting though that some of the best work in the company is being done by two injured dudes. But it's like,
Right?
okay.
This was a fun segment though, which was a multi segment bit throughout the night of Drew McIntyre trying to hunt down CM Punk, which is always a fun angle. They didn't take it quite as far as going way back when was it Steve Austin was hunting down Booker T and they wound up in the grocery store and all that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But like it had that kind of loose feel though, where he's running around and Punk's outsmarting him, and it was a good time though. But they're doing great mic work together, and this is, I think, the best work that Drew McIntyre's done on the mic.
Absolutely. He re-signed the other day for a lot of money. I imagine that means they can finally commit to him as like a world champion for real. Now that they know he's not going anywhere. I'm down. He's doing the best work of his career. He's really found himself. He really found a spot in the company. In the I was going to say hierarchy, but that's not the right word. He's found his position.
Yeah, absolutely has. But moving on, backstage, we had Gable walking up to his pupils in Alpha Academy, and he runs them down. It's pretty much it's like, what are you guys so happy about? And Maxine's talking about, got a couple eliminations. He's like, great, you got eliminations. You didn't win the title. He's very mean. He's not a good motivator. I guess he tried. He tried to motivate with positivity, and that clearly didn't work, and they didn't improve her. I don't want to see any more sad tweets from Tozawa. Bummed me out last week.
Isn't it a little uncomfortable? It's weird. I think I mean it works. It's just they were so nice. He seems abusive. Like someone should save this girl.
Yeah, I will say like I know it's character work, but it's getting rough like Chad Gable. Like I'm not gonna roast you right now, heel, but I mean it's like fuck. Like I want to see him still succeed as a heel, but now it's like, man, you're just mean. Like
you mean motherfucker.
It kind of hurts like this part of your stomach, when
just going off the script, being a complete dick now.
Otis and Tozawa are just gonna jump him.
Right? Like, well, it's just like he's getting meaner and meaner by the week, and I believe his attacks will become much more ad hominem and personal as the weeks continue.
I actually when I said they jump him, I realized that's when they're gonna get beat up by the Creed brothers. So I was like, man, Chad Gable's outnumbered, and he's talking down, and eventually they will snap. And I was like, well, they could just jump him, but yeah.
Well, and we talked about Maxine Dupree's feud with Candice being kind of ended here or thrown out. I mean, when that attack from the Creeds like inevitably happens, the Creeds would
fuck.
Ivy
Niles gonna turn on Maxine. God damn it. No, this is horrible. I didn't think of that. No. She's gonna take her spot too. She's the new Maxine. Oh no. Damn.
It's rough, man. It's rough. and she's gonna be better at it too.
Oh shit, she's really good too. Yeah, you're right. She's a great wrestler. Chad Gable's gonna make the absolute right decision.
Yeah, history will be on Chad Gable's side. We're gonna be wearing Chad Gable is right t-shirts in 5 years.
Oh shit, that's messed up.
Yeah, it's beautiful storytelling. It's so neat. Like when you look at it, like way
It
to
is.
fucking go, Trips. Way to go. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. But so moving on, though, we had Kathy Kelly interviewing Braun Breaker, talking about being drafted to Raw, which was cool. Like, I'm excited to see Braun on Raw. I'm excited to see Braun anywhere. He's just good. Just great to see Braun. And I had a run in the backstage there with Sheamus. It was an interesting promo between the two of them. Braun can hold his own on the mic a lot more than I think people give him credit for.
I want to see him unhinged like his uncle. I just want to see him talking about the ugly bitches in the front row.
Siren too.
He used to go crazy. Like I was watching a best of Scott Steiner WCW clips. He's just insulting in the most vulgar,
Heelish ways.
entertaining way.
I just want to hear Braun Breaker mention Shoney's on air. That's what I need.
Shoney's.
Scott Steiner, for those of you that don't know watching, Scott Steiner did own a Shoney's.
He did, right? He did.
And it was a Shoney's that had a bar for our Rick and Morty fans out there. So those did exist. Yeah, he owned a Shoney's. I don't think he owns it any longer, unfortunately. Somewhere, I don't have it like right at my fingertips. I've got a picture of the billboard for the Shoney's. So speaking of poor to be turned on again in the very near future, Maxine Dupree. We had Candice LeRae with Indy Hartwell taking on Maxine Dupree with Ivy Nile. LeRae picks up the win here in 2 minutes. They did let Maxine Dupree get quite a lot of offense. I mean, as much offense as one can be given in 2 minutes and still lose a match.
Yeah, they furthered the heel thing. I thought they might continue the story, but I guess like you said, sometimes the bad guys do win. And
yeah,
they definitely won here.
Well, and it sends, like I said, like it sends Indy off being fully heel, going over to SmackDown with Candice. Like, and that was a pretty brutal shove into the corner post there. I was pretty impressed with that, and she's playing 90% heel pretty well. Like you can tell there's still like a hair reluctance there, like just a stutter. And I wonder if they'll use that kind of like that slight hesitation, to cost Candice something in the future. But 2 minutes couldn't have gone much longer because Maxine Dupree was in there. So. I feel so bad. Like we brag on Maxine so much, but she's not great.
It could be worse. I mean, we could be saying mean things. They're just
It's true. We're really just saying things that are objectively fact.
Yeah, like that wasn't good, but she's trying.
She's learning. But she should be doing this on NXT level up and not on Raw. All right. So moving on, we had Kathy Kelly interviewing Rey Mysterio, newly Raw drafted deadbeat dad Rey Mysterio, and the rest of the LWO back there. This is when the run-in with Dom happened. He called it Dirty Sanchez, calling out the mustache. I feel like this segment was pretty much there just for that one line.
I can see it too.
Are they setting them back up for their eventual they're on the same brand, so right. I imagine they're gonna have another Ray versus Dom match, and maybe Dom will actually get a win this time.
SummerSlam?
That makes sense. With Liv Morgan by his side.
Oh,
custody of Liv Morgan.
The new mommy.
Custody of Liv.
His snow bunny.
Oh God. But moving on, we had Drew McIntyre busting into the skyboxes and luxury suites looking for Punk. But Punk had left a signed photo like a Batman villain.
Yeah.
Like he left a riddle. But it wasn't a long riddle because Punk's music hit and he made his way to the ring. And the continuation of their promo here, Punk said he didn't want to waste time, and that he would take less time than Drew did as world champion. And he asked Pat McAfee to start counting because he had 5 minutes and 46 seconds. What'd you guys think of this promo from Punk?
It's so weird how Drew seems to be hitting all these topical kind of, kind of just pulling what he sees on Twitter and shit. And Punk's responses have been a little, I don't know, they're not coming from the same place. Like Punk is not willing to go to this place that McIntyre is going to insult him back. Punk is keeping it very TV related, very kayfabe. We're talking about what's going on in front of you and me. He's mad.
Right.
I cost him the title. Like, wow, Drew is like, the corporate ass kisser, broken old man, can't wrestle once. Just like repeating every single internet thing he could find, which I'm sure Punk is fine with it, but I just think it's interesting to see how much he isn't willing to take part in it.
Do you think that that's just kind of biding his time for that? Like, do you think there's a plan for him to, kind of pull both cannons out as it would be? Or do you think he's just trying to be more restrained and be a little more friendly and a little more corporate as it would be?
I also think there's not so much you can say about Drew beyond you got fired once.
Right.
You
were in 3-man band.
I mean, you could say there's the thing about Vince, losing faith in him, but you don't even want to talk about Vince.
Well, and they did. That was the one line he brought up where he was like, "You were the chosen one who chose you," and he couldn't say who chose him. That was kind of, but I don't know. Yeah, there's not a lot of personal digs he can really take it through. Again, short of more kind of kayfabe shit, where it's like you're the last surviving member of 3-man band in the company.
That's heartbreaking. They should all come back and jump him
next week.
There you go. Long-term storytelling right there. But Punk's, again, not in the brace. Punk's been out of that brace for weeks now. So when does this match between him and Drew take place?
Got to be SummerSlam this summer.
Yeah, it makes the most sense.
It's a big match too. I don't know if you want to do it at Money in the Bank.
No, you want that at one of your big four. But so was SummerSlam August?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a way.
It is a long way
to go. And I mean, is this a thing where does Punk wrestle in between there, or do you not risk it?
Not risk it.
I'm not risking that fucking fragile motherfucker.
You breathe on him and he's done.
They call me Mr. Glass.
No, sir.
Like John just mentioning CM Punk probably broke CM Punk.
Oh. People, is this going to be the new Kevin Nash quad?
Yes.
Joke?
No.
Is that what this is?
Oh, come on. I think it is.
Fabergé.
It's going to be Vince McMahon at that one, was it Royal Rumble? And then broke his legs or his quads.
I always find something to say. I have my own personal issues.
Ooh, quads?
I hate quads.
Like the bikes?
Like the city DJs?
Like the part of your body that helps you walk.
That's a rough thing to hate, man. You need it.
2024, John tells the truth of what he hates.
But to things that we don't hate. Liv Morgan taking on Nia Jax. Okay, I mean there might be aspects of that people didn't like But Liv picks up the win here in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Pretty big win for her. Maybe a little less meaningful given the distractions and whatnot, but still, though, Nia hasn't lost a whole lot of time since she's been back, so there is still some significance to that as Liv keeps on ticking along in her revenge tour. And 10 minutes and 30 seconds, long time for a Nia Jax match. And as you can see there, we had some shenanigans out there with Tiffany Stratton and Naomi. Gentlemen, what'd you think of this one?
I was more excited for Tiffy time. Like, truthfully.
It was Tiffy time. I'm not sure why she was here, though. I mean,
that guy beside her was probably sweating bullets.
I thought it was funny that she sat away from like everyone. Like, ew,
yeah,
don't touch me.
That was at the direction of Ludwig Kaiser.
Understood.
Yeah, he's actually, what you don't know about him is he's very Macho Man like.
Oh fuck! Don't even look at her, bro.
That's why he kicked the shit out of Giovanni Vinci. He had lust in his eyes for Tiffany.
I caught him holding the door open. How fucking dare he?
Yeah.
You I just thought
he wants to eat
because I know last week Nia Jax inadvertently helped Tiffy take out both Bailey and Naomi, but her coming to Raw to just watch Nia Jax now is like weird. Are they going to be a thing? Is that a thing? Was she watching for any particular reason?
I really feel like this is just a way to have her flash up on Raw to be like, hey, look at this is someone that's on SmackDown. Like, it felt more like that, where it's just like, again, we're in this weird, kind of swirly in between upside down world between the draft taking place and next week. So I kind of feel like it was one of those things. Because there was a lot more crossover still. Because again, they brought up a couple times, this is the last couple shows where there can be this much crossover, because after that, it's going to be separate rosters where these guys will not cross paths.
Super serious.
I'd love for them to actually be super serious about a roster split. That'd be rad. I'd be cool with that. That'd be great. Because then it would feel really cool when like people like cross paths at pay-per-views or PLEs. Like, I'd be fine with that. That'd be super duper. But it's not going to happen. They don't have the discipline. There's no fucking way. They never have. Well, they used to. They did at one point in time, but they haven't for like probably 18 years.
It lasted like 2 years. It lasted like 2 years of them being like real good at it. It started slowly. I think they started doing something called a Raw Super Show just to save money on tapings. And it got weird.
And then there was that brief period of time where it was the Raw Super Show featuring Brock Lesnar. They had the graphic for it and everything.
That was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. God, they did some weird shit there for a while. Oh man. Anyway, sorry folks for waxing poetic about Raw and like what that have been like 2015, give or take.
Hey, I found a small list of possible people mentioned for the supplemental draft.
Man, they ain't tweeting that tonight.
No, it's from an actual person that's knowing.
Is it Corey Graves?
No.
I only get my news from Corey Graves.
Well, I'll tell you the list and you guys can tell me if you think it's BS or not. But it says the following will be drafted in the supplemental draft. And this was posted today. And the names are, it's also #Raw. It's Cruz, Reed, Creed Brothers, Giovanni Vinci. I don't know what they're called. Caden Carter and Katana Chance. Natalia, Newcastle Republic, Odyssey Jones, and Tegan Knox.
That's the list of everybody that's left.
Is it? What's with the prison time?
They're all going to get drafted in the supplemental draft because those are the people who got left behind. I think there's like a sports term for them. Mr.
Rejects?
Nobody or something?
Rejects?
I don't know. I don't watch sports. I only watch this real pro wrestling, brother.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Still digging.
No, if it's not on WWE's official Twitter at this
Fine.
time,
You're not going to find
It's
Fine.
not coming tonight.
Just give it up, man.
I'm gonna go.
You know
I'm
what's
gonna order a
instead?
burger.
Instead, let's talk about this World Tag Team title match between the Awesome Truth and Otis and Tozawa. All right.
What is there to say? Like,
Well, the match happened. Miz and Truth retained the tag titles in under 5 minutes, and the Alpha Academy continues falling apart at the direction of Chad Gable.
I mean, we've always said it already about a billion times that we thought Awesome Truth were going to be the transitional champions, but they're still going. So,
Well, I mean,
are they going to keep it till maybe like Backlash?
do they have? It's late over here, guys. Do they?
I
have a
haven't
defense-
seen one.
Do they have a defense scheduled at Backlash?
The card I've seen so far has only
Not
so
yet.
many matches.
No. Okay. Well, it might after Friday. I don't see him keeping it for more than like a month or so. Like they're not going to make it out of the month of May with the tag titles.
But I
Let's
thought
see.
DIY would take it, but they're gone now, so it's not going to be them. And I can't see anybody. Like, who else is there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Have these nice belts and no tag division to go with them.
Right?
No, it's sad. Damn it. I mean, the
New
Creed
Day.
brothers.
I guess Creed Brothers will take them. They'll look
Yeah.
nice with them next to Chad Gable.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. When he eventually has his IC title that he just
Yeah.
beats the hell out of Sami Zayn for, that'll be good. That'll be good for the Alpha version 3.
2.0.
It'll work. It'll work.
American Alpha.
Got to throw the 2.0.
Only
on there.
only if they rework the old American Males entrance theme into a song for them.
You just gotta give him Jason Jordan as a manager, and we'll be fine.
Easy peasy. He's there. He's there every week. Why not? Getting back on TV because he was great on the mic.
Uh-huh.
I actually don't remember if he was or not.
He wasn't. That was sarcasm. He really wasn't. Like that was. I remember that was one of the running jokes. There was like, "Wow, you're supposed to be Kurt Angle's son. You did not get the charisma." What a weird angle that was, too. Again, guys, every once in a while, just like to pull out things from wrestling's past. Jason Jordan is Kurt Angle's son.
I remember that.
Kayfabe, okay?
Kayfabe.
Remember, don't forget that. Edge and Christian are brothers, by the way.
And Undertaker and Kane.
I got so pissed on WWE television a few years ago. They referred to them as really great friends. And I'm like, my God, like you downgraded their relationship. They're brothers, damn it. They're not just really great friends.
Tyler sounds so broken right now.
I was.
Tyler's like, I'm off the show.
Hashtag sad. But
DIY.
DIY. Hashtag. Awful theme song. Oh, so I saw today before we pop into our jobbers of the night and such here. I saw that apparently, allegedly, WWE upper management is aware of how much people hate Def Rebel.
Ooh,
I mean, how
finally?
could they not be?
Finally?
Like that's what I read today. So hey, maybe we'll start getting some better themes back. But
You mean actual themes?
good, well put together songs.
And Titantrons?
Don't push your luck.
Okay.
But
I
hey,
miss Titantrons so bad.
Yes!
they were good. That was I used to love like flipping through them in the old video games, just like watching all the bits and stuff. Like that was good times. It was a magical time to be alive, guys. But hey, let's jump into and talk about who we have for our jobbers of the night. I might make some enemies out there with who I'm about to
Oh
say.
shit!
But we
Back
talked
it up.
about it. We
Back
talked
it up.
about it a little bit. Why I feel this way.
I'm hiding. Who is it?
It's Gunther. It's Gunther, and this is based off the last couple weeks, but like tonight, especially, like he shouldn't have been in a 16-minute, very competitive, grueling match with Xavier Woods. No disrespect to Xavier Woods, formerly Consequences Creed. No disrespect, but like I just did not think that made Gunther look good. I honestly didn't think his promo last week made him come off that great or that strong. So which makes me sad because it's just like you are a record breaker, a record setter, a record that will probably never be broken. But you had a 16-minute match with Xavier Woods tonight. So I'm sorry, Ring General, Ring Dollar General tonight.
Ring General.
Yeah, Gunther. Yeah, so I apologize, sir. But who you got, gentlemen? Who you got?
I almost want to take the easy route because one of our friends in here is saying his name over and over, so I'm not gonna take the name of a certain dad, but only because of what's been going on over on this side. I still feel like they might do it to him on Friday, and that's Shinsuke. I'm hoping they don't. I have faith, but I don't know if
somebody
they'll do
the jobber of the night and they
he wasn't even on the show.
I'm just saying
he was jobber of the night for potentially being a jobber in the future. That's not even fair.
I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do anything. When was his last win on TV? I'm trying to remember.
It was within the last month. I know, because I joked that they only gave him that one win, so
oh yeah,
you can't say he does nothing but lose. But you're giving a man jobber of the night for potential.
I know. See, you can give me crap for that. Go for it, guys. I don't.
That was good. It was good. I've given people jobber of the night for their fashion choices. Hell, I've given it to the fashion before. So no, it's perfectly
Seth
acceptable.
Rollins.
Sean, who'd you got?
Kiana James for that shirt. No, that's fucked up. No, I think my job of the night is going to be Maxine Dupree because she got bitched out by Candice LeRae and she's never gonna get her comeback.
Shoosh.
Damn, man, that's messed up. And also, Triple H for this draft format. What the fuck were we doing? Yeah.
I'd say I'm going home, but I'm sitting on my couch.
That's better than the Death Rebels theme song.
That's a fact.
That's the sad part.
Credit Banka Boy 2, Bank High Boy 2 on Twitter. X.
That was so. That's so bad that was better than all the theme songs right now.
Best thing I've seen tonight.
Yeah, that was.
That's
the best thing I've seen involving Triple H today. So, but yeah, I agree with that. I think the draft this year was definitely lackluster and is a well-suited choice for the jobber of the night. But hey, that's going to bring us into a more positive realm, into something we want to praise, our megastars of the night. And John, since you hit the jobber last, who'd you have as your megastar this evening, sir?
Megastar of the night is probably going to be I might go with Drew McIntyre because he was such a great character tonight. He was one of the more entertaining parts of the show. Just not even just his actual segments, but just him randomly passing through other segments looking for CM Punk desperately. So it was very good tonight. Drew McIntyre is going to be my megastar of the night.
Tyler, do you want to go first or should I go first?
No, you go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
All right, very Canadian of you.
Oh, hey.
How ironic that I'd say that. I'm saying this because I've seen a bit of his work on the NXTs, so it's very interesting to see how it goes. And that's the Ilya Dragunov. It's gonna be interesting to see how he does because all the video of him on NXT, how he did the Rumble, it's all been building up. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it turns out on main. Side note, actually, I did just see a list, not about the other thing. Put the guns down. They actually mentioned Imperium as Giovanni and Gunther. Or sorry, Gunther and Ludwig, and then Giovanni was separate.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, they said that tonight. Yeah, they got the paperwork in on time. He's not part of Imperium.
He's gone.
So let's see where that possibly ends up going with Ilya.
Yeah. Again, I wouldn't. I mean, I can see it, but I
I'm
wouldn't
not
like
holding
it.
my breath and hoping for it. I'm just saying, like, I just want to see what he does, and we'll go from there.
All right, and this is kind of an odd choice for me for maybe an odd reason.
Controversy.
It's not that much controversy. But I'm going with Logan Paul.
Whoa.
And it's because he got the massive reaction on a show that he's not on typically. Which means like his star power obviously isn't just tied to SmackDown, which is probably one of the many reasons that WWE wants him around. But his star power is to the level that someone who is beloved, like Patrick Mahomes, could probably, I don't know, like pull a public servant out of a building and beat them senseless in the street, and they'd still like him. But they booed the man for giving those rings to Logan Paul. But he wanted to be associated with Logan Paul. So that's the point. His star power is so big.
Oh, there they go. The fucking draft actually
Twitter.
started at the as soon as we fucking finished.
They announced them.
This is on purpose. I know.
That's horrible. Anyway, I guess before I go, I'll drop them real fast.
Yeah, hit with the names before we hop off.
Three brothers and Ivy Nile drafted to Raw.
Yep.
Giovanni Vinci separated from Imperium, drafted to SmackDown.
Ooh,
that's good. That's good.
It is good. New Catch Republic drafted to Raw from SmackDown.
Okay.
And Tegan Knox drafted to Raw. I assume over the next few minutes they'll drop more, but you guys can head on over. Yeah, Tegan Knox.
It says the SmackDown.
All right, Tegan Knox drafted to SmackDown.
It scared me there for a second. Like, what?
Drop to SmackDown.
Does that split her and Natty?
I think it does.
Okay. Good.
That team made very little sense to me anyway.
Mm-hmm. The mom and a daughter.
It's I guess if you were looking for any further updates on the WWE Draft, you can find them on our social media outlets.
Oh yeah.
And the website.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect time to let you know to go check it out.
That's right.
comicbookclick.com/Dirt Sheet Radio. That's where we live, baby. Go check out that website. It's a beautiful place. I work hard to make it a place you want to hang out for sure. Thanks to the beautiful people at Comic Book Click for offering us that space. And make sure you check out Major Issues every single Thursday, where they cover all of the latest and greatest superhero content, movies, comic books, television shows, animated shows, all of it. Make sure you go check it out on Thursdays.
Specifically,
the Delphin Pod shows are available everywhere podcasts are found. Delphin Pod specializes in pop culture and cinema podcasts. They've got Star Wars, Marvel, regular films, all kinds of pop culture podcasts, including ours, the flagship Dirt Sheet Radio, right in the middle of that, the singular Dirt Sheet professional wrestling podcast on their network. And make sure you check out monk.com, promo code DSR10 for all you aromatherapy loving aroma fans, therapy fans, patients, therapy patients, aromatherapy patients.
Paul Roma.
Check them out. Shop DSR on our Shopify store. That's for sure. Woo! And that's us tonight, man.
Caesar, where can the people watching this see you? Where can they find you next?
My exact address? Okay.
No, we go through this all the time.
No, bad Caesar.
All right, guys. As always, every week I'm here with Tyler, John, and whoever decides to swing by and hang out with us. I'm always on the Wednesday night Dynamite episodes, hanging out, talking AEW Dynamite. As always, my social media link is at NoobTube, and one in this corner here, right there. See, nicely placed. And I'd like to name a lot of the platforms, but there are way too many now to actually name. So I'm not going to sit here and name all of them, because we could go ahead and talk about the Pro Wrestling Hipster.
Hey, that's me. I am the Pro Wrestling Hipster, Tyler. The Pro Wrestling Hipster over on Facebook. And of course, you see me here every Monday night for Dirt Sheet Radio, breaking down Raw with Caesar and John. And like Caesar said, whomever else happens to grace us with their presence. And then, of course, every Tuesday night with Caesar and Matthew talking about NXT. And tomorrow night, we got night 2 of Spring Breaking. And I'm glad to say that NXT didn't get completely rated of talent. So this should be a really fun show to talk about and watch week to week. But yeah, so you can catch me here doing those shows for that. And like I said, always got fun memes and content coming down the pike over on Facebook. That's where I do most of my stuff. I say this a lot. I kind of only use Twitter to get pictures for wrestling these days. But hella fun, guys. Always fun stuff coming down the pike. It's a good time. I'll be back tomorrow night. So, hey.
That is us. That is us.
It has been.
I'm John Escudero. You can find me at John Escudero on most places, but you probably shouldn't because you won't like me. Anyway.
How can someone not like you?
I don't know. They find a way.
You know, there are times with the way the internet is, and I see people arguing with folks here of the DSR family, and there are times where I just want to tell people just to be nicer to all of us. Be like, why? Who farted in your Cheerios this morning?
Who
sir?
hurt you?
That's what I want to know.
You had the nerve to enjoy something that I did not enjoy. I am going to ruin your life.
Yeah,
my favorite. A few weeks ago on the Dynamite show, someone called you guys AEW marks.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's an AEW fucking podcast.
Did you read the title?
Wow.
I came here to listen to somebody shit on it.
Right?
That's ultimately the thing.
That's how it is, though. That's how it is. There are shows where that's
internet.
People, you know, the negativity is what sells, and I think that we are showing that you can have continued growth with, a streaming outlet that is overall positive. I feel like 90% of what we say and talk about here at Tertiary Radio, we try to stick to the positives. And that's something that sets us apart from so many other shows, is they really push that negative aspect. That's why I don't listen to a lot of shit anymore, because it's all, I used to listen to Cornette back in the day. Couldn't do it. Can't do it anymore for 1,000 reasons, honestly. But the negativity is a big part of it. Damn it.
1001 now.
It's one of those things where people are, and it ties into this base tribalist instinct that humans have, where it's like, I want to hear someone who hears my negative opinion. So that's gonna just get more attention always. It's a sad thing. Even in comic books, I read comic books all the time, and sometimes I get really mad, like Spider-Man. I'm like, fuck, I can't even read this shit anymore. This motherfucker is never happy. And then I find out from the people who write it that it's like, well, this is the mandate we've been given. You see, when people are angry, they buy more. So we're told to make people angry. And it's like, I can't, I refuse. It's so devoid of substance. It's so lame. I mean, and to be fair, when Tyler says we keep it positive, it's not even outwardly making an effort to be positive. It's just like, hey, I enjoyed this thing. This thing I didn't enjoy. Well, I didn't enjoy it, but I'm not gonna harp on it. You should hate it too.
Well, and even I feel like when we go really hard line on things, like using my dislike of the Viking Raiders gimmick, it's very tongue-in-cheek. And I don't think anybody sees me doing that and thinks, oh my God, what a spiteful, hateful human being he is. I think that there's always a bit of a chuckle and a laugh to all of that. And again, I usually end it by saying, he's a really great worker. But so even when we are rough and negative, I think a lot of it's done, I don't know, in good fun.
For sure. But you can definitely check that out for yourself on all of our shows live after every major professional wrestling televised show of the week. Monday after Raw, Tuesday after NXT, Wednesday after Dynamite, Thursday after Impact, Friday after SmackDown, Saturday and Sunday after PLEs, which actually reminds me that...
Speaking of which...
Yeah, this Saturday. WWE Backlash.
French.
Is that in the middle of the day? Is it
yes, it is a 1 o'clock start time.
10 a.m.
No, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Well, I guess 10 a.m. for you, right? Wait.
Ooh, for Canadians.
Yeah. It is 10 a.m. for me. You're absolutely right. God damn it. I guess we can do. We don't have to do a watch along. It's not like it's WrestleMania weekend. They were like, yeah, we have another show to do at night. We could do a post show.
Yeah, we can do a post show for that. We can do a post show for that.
We oh man, this is it. This is your time to shine, Caesar. That's right.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah. Backlash, baby. We're gonna watch it with the French commentary.
Tune it in on Saturday. I'll do French commentary, I guess.
We'll be
Nah, man.
tickled.
Catch us on Saturday. That's right. Looking forward to being on a Backlash Rewind. That's our boy CJ. We can't wait to see you.
Hey, we'll see CJ tomorrow night too. What?
Oh my God! On the
Why don't
other
you go ahead and take us home, Tyler?
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone that tunes in live and watches this live, everyone that watches this on delay, we appreciate your viewership, and we want to say thank you very much for tuning in. And we will see you live tomorrow night. We'll see you live next week as well. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much for watching, you beautiful people. Yeet.